I absolutely love that song. This is Pastor Mike coming to you live from my top secret broadcasting compound, deep in the heart of the Australian outback. See, I got to keep moving it around or people will find out where I'm at. Good to be with you today. If you were watching the church service last night, you heard me talking about losing my voice. And I coughed last night. I woke up coughing this morning. And I think it's a lot of this. We're having unseasonably warm weather. And I don't like it. I like for wintertime to be wintertime and summertime to be summertime, and never the twain shall meet. I like it like my sins. There's cast as far as the east is from the west, and I think wintertime ought to be totally separate than summertime. And so here we are in the middle of, actually it's the beginning of February, and we've had 65, 70-degree weather, and I think I have just a little bit of allergies, especially in the early springtime. So I think all this stuff is gathering up in my throat, and it doesn't help preaching last night. And then today I came in, and I went right to, I have been nonstop busy today. I just recorded the Watchman broadcast for next week. It's actually a remake of one of the very first videos that I did with a green screen. I did this, I don't remember what year. I think it was early in 2009. Jesus Christ, DNA, and the Holy Bible. And I've added a little bit of new information, but I've noticeably gotten a little bit better at the video work that we do and the virtual sets that we have, and so the graphics and everything. And so anyway, I redid that today. That was about 2.5 hours worth of recording. Probably will be able to narrow it down to about 2 hours, 15 minutes, something like that of video. Hopefully it'll be a good DVD, and it'll refresh some people's memory. It's one of those things that I did this particular video back 2009 because I thought it would be a good soul-winning video. And hopefully it has, and hopefully it will continue to do so. I just wanted to make it look a lot more professional and a lot of eye candy, and I bought some new graphics for it and everything like that. So I've been talking all morning, and now here I am talking to you guys, and hopefully I'll have enough voice left for Sunday morning. I've got a couple things that I want to deal with. Actually, an email that came in Tuesday, somebody wanted me to talk about it today, and I'm going, you know what, I am going to talk about that today, and that is the date of February the 2nd. I'll deal with that in a little bit, but as you know, it is February the 2nd. And you may or may not be aware of the fact that on January the 28th, the rapture took place. I'm not kidding you. It happened. According to this email that I got, when did I get this email? I have a date of December the 29th, 2011 at 7:15. I printed this off. When I saw the email, I printed it out and I kept it in a secure location because I thought, after the 28th, I'm going to deal with this. I should have said something before. Maybe I did. I don't remember. But the email comes from 5doves.com. It was apparently an article that was posted at 5Doves. Now, I have known about 5Doves website ever since the 90s. They've been around for a while. And early on in my study of Bible prophecy, I was looking into those who have dreams or visions. And some of you know my testimony. I wanted to have dreams and visions. I wanted God to just download the whole scenario into my brain at night, and then I would... And I've actually prayed on 2 different occasions, I remember God give me dreams and visions, and both times God just made me look at the Bible and said, Mike, here are your dreams and visions right here. And the second time I did that, I rested in that. I quit asking God, oh God, give me more dreams. I just quit asking God that, because God had convinced me by that time that the Bible is a sure word of prophecy. And if I or anybody else had some kind of dream, whoop-de-doo. Big whoop. And so Five Dove's website, if you go there, they will talk about so-and-so had a dream this, and such had a dream that, and they're prophesying this and they're prophesying that. And early on in this ministry, and this ministry really began around 1997, early on I was kind of being influenced in that direction, and God just kind of pulled the rope back and said, no, you're going to stay here in the King James Bible. And so I'm glad that God didn't turn me over to that. Stan Johnson of the Club O Prophecy, when I told him that I had asked God on 2 different occasions for dreams and visions, and God told me that they're all in the Bible. And Stan said, I can lay hands on you and give you an impartation if you want. And I told him, I said, Stan, why would I let you do something that God told me I can't have? Why would I let you do that? And physically, I was talking to him in his office in Topeka, Kansas, and he was trying to tell me about how not everything God does is in the Bible, and I'm saying, Stan, I'm just telling you what I'm finding in the Bible. And there was ministering spirits that had built this humongous wall between me and Stan Johnson. I thank God for that. So anyway, on the Five Doves website, one of the authors, and I don't know how he sent it to me. I don't know if he watches. I don't know if he's watching now. I'm not going to name his name. I'm going to be nice. And somebody called me this morning and reminded me that we're to preach the truth in love. And to this person who wrote this particular article, I want you to know that I love you. And I really do. And when I say I love somebody, I mean it. I don't make that up. I don't just tell my wife every day, I love you, and it doesn't mean anything. It means something with me. And it's easy for that to come out of me, but I love people, and I love God's people. And I'm not judging this person's salvation who wrote this. What I am judging is their accuracy. Because they wrote this article here, I got it in my email, says, Red Alert, the biblical date for the rapture is 1/28/12. And so they talk about, and I read through this, and I still don't know where in the stinking world they come up with that particular date. But he sends this email out, okay? And I don't know how many people got it. I don't know if you got one, try to let me know somehow during this broadcast. You see the email address on the screen, pastormikeonline@gmail.com. And I'll be looking for your email. If you got one, I'd like to know. But what I want to do is write this person an email back and very kindly say, you told everybody that the rapture, no doubt in your mind, you had no question about it whatsoever, okay? No question that the rapture was going to take place on January the 28th, 2012. That has not happened. So what does that make this person? It makes them a false prophet. And according to the scriptures, you're not to believe anything else they say. You're in no danger of not following them. A prophet is only allowed to be wrong one time, and then he's not a prophet. That's the accuracy level that God has. This is why one of the 1 billion reasons why I believe in the perfect Bible is that according to the standard that God himself set for a sure word of prophecy, if it's wrong one time, God said you don't have to follow it. And according to all the Bible scholars, all the Bibles are wrong, at least one time. Somebody sent me a letter yesterday. And again, I love them too. They sent me a 3-page letter on the day that I was doing Adeline's funeral. And I was in a really sour mood on that day. I wanted that day to be over with so bad. And they sent me this 3-page letter, handwritten letter, and I start reading it. And this person's calling me a Baal worshiper and everything else, and I see Sabbath day here and Sabbath day there and all this stuff, and so I threw it away. And then they sent me another one yesterday. I didn't throw this one away. I gave it to Gary. And this one actually says, "You say, Pastor Mike, that there's no mistakes in the King James Bible. I, however, have discovered thousands of mistakes in the King James Bible." And there's not one. If the Bible's wrong one time, I'm out of here. Okay? I am out of here. And so anyway, this person sent out an email warning everybody the rapture was going to take place January the 28th, 2012. Now that was 5 days ago. I think we're sort of in the safety zone now. And obviously it did not happen the way this person said. I say this as an admonition, not necessarily a rebuke. But I want to admonish whoever this person is and everybody that listens to this broadcast or any of the teachings that we put out, any of the sermons, whatever. Quit buying everything that everybody who says prophecy is selling. Quit buying that stuff. Everybody's looking at all these Jewish feast dates. Everybody's looking at this. Everybody's looking at that. And on and on and on and on. And they're accepting things that are unbiblical. And I want to encourage people, please, let's just stick with the King James Bible as a sure word of prophecy. Let's just stick with the Scriptures. Let's just quote Scriptures. An email just popped up, and the person is asking, his name is Charles. Hi, Charles, how you doing? Charles is asking me, how do I interpret Joel chapter 2, verse 28? Joel, here's the great thing about being a Christian, and the great thing about being a student of the Scriptures, is that I don't have to interpret. I don't have to interpret the Bible. The Bible, and it's not up to me to interpret the Bible. The Bible stands on its own. It says what it says. I think I get what you're getting at. And I was asked this question out in Kenya. Joel chapter 2, verse 28, "It shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my Spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions." Okay? I don't have to. It says what it says. Okay? Now, are you asking me, does anybody ever have any kind of prophetic dream where God deals with them? I can't say that they don't. What my point is, Charles and everybody else, what my point is that I've learned enough about Mike Hoggard and my silly little dreams. I wouldn't trust him. If I dreamed the end of America and God and there was a date in there and how it was going to happen and everything like that, I wouldn't trust that. I wouldn't, unless I see it verbatim, word for word, in the only thing in this world that I trust. Charles, if you called me or you wrote me and sent me an email and said, Mike, I believe that God has given me a vision. There was a guy. When was this? 2010? Or maybe in 2011, from the Netherlands, that was passing on his dreams to me about what he said was going to happen in America. And it had to do with all these earthquakes and all this stuff and